Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which is streaming for free on the Roku channel. It stars Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic, as the pretty much biopic of Weird Al Yankovic, a 100% accurate biopic of this legendary comedy singer. And that's all I'm going to say in terms of a plot description. When it comes to the music industry, I'm not really all that invested in it. I don't really keep up with trends, all the news, unless it's major news. And in terms of the actual artists themselves, it's like, okay, I'll listen to a couple of songs that I legitimately like from them, but I won't buy an entire album. So clearly movies and theme parks are more my forte than music. But that being said, I am a massive fan of Weird Al Yankovic. His parody songs are absolutely brilliant. In fact, half the time, his parody songs come to mind first before the original songs do. There are some exceptions like Beat It, Bad, and American Idiot that come to mind first, but Amish Paradise, White Nerdy, The Saga Begins, Yoda, those songs will come to my mind before the originals. That's how much I love this guy. So when it comes to this movie, when I first heard that Daniel Radcliffe was going to be playing Weird Al, I thought, that's perfect. Daniel Radcliffe has been picking a lot of very interesting and weird roles, so this is perfect for him. And when I heard that it was going to be streaming on the Roku channel for free, I thought that was the most Weird Al thing that could possibly happen with this movie. And when I said that this movie is 100% accurate in terms of being a biopic, I hope y'all took that with a hint of sarcasm, because this movie is pretty much a fantasy. It might as well be Harry Potter in terms of biopics. And the movie knows it, because it literally opens up with Weird Al Yankovic himself introducing the movie as a 100% accurate description of his life story. But you can tell that with his tone of voice, he is being sarcastic. Because this movie plays out more like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, except it's about a real musician. And if you know the history of Weird Al, whether it's how he actually became a sensation or what year his songs came out, then you know this movie is total nonsense. And it results in being one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. This movie pokes fun at musical biopics. Because we get so many of them, a lot of them do feel the same, and in some cases, like with Bohemian Rhapsody, they're complete nonsense, but in a way where I kind of find it to be insulting. Sorry if you're a fan of Bohemian Rhapsody, I think that movie flat out sucks. Weird, the Al Yankovic story is pretty much here going, look, we know the stuff that we're saying in this movie is made up. It's not true, it's inaccurate, we're just here to make you laugh, and I think on that level it truly succeeds. Case in point, Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic. He plays this like any other actor would play any other musician in a biopic, where he has a falling out with the band. There are some points where he's super serious, he gets drunk, he's drugged up, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And also, when it comes to the singing, you can clearly tell that they're just playing the actual songs with Weird Al's real voice. Daniel Radcliffe is not singing these songs. He's clearly being dubbed over by Weird Al himself. And I think that just lends itself to the comedy. Evan Rachel Wood plays Madonna, and she's great as well. She's really funny, she's over the top, and the way that she's portrayed next to Weird Al, it's essentially what the public perception of Yoko Ono was for such a long time. And I say that because recently we found out, oh, Yoko Ono wasn't responsible for breaking up the Beatles. The Beatles were responsible for breaking up the Beatles. That's how Madonna is pretty much in this movie. But further into this movie, the things that they do with Madonna are so nonsensical and so batshit insane that it reminds me of UHF, the movie that made it completely impossible for me to take the Rambo film seriously anymore. It's absurd, and again, the movie is well aware that it is absurd. It is pushing it to 11, and I love every second of it. You've got so many other fantastic, talented people in small roles, like Lin-Manuel Miranda, Will Forte, Jack Black, Conan O'Brien, and Weird Al Yankovic himself has a small role in this movie. Rainn Wilson is also in this movie playing Dr. Demento, who is Weird Al's manager. And I say that in quote fingers because as far as I know, Dr. Demento just helped give Weird Al national attention. He wasn't actually a manager for Weird Al. And it's funny to look at this movie and then think back to Elvis earlier this year, where when Tom Hanks plays Colonel Tom Parker, he is flat out cartoonish, he's evil, he might as well have had a sinister twirling mustache to show you that, yeah, this dude's evil. And yet the parody, the satire of musical biopics paints the manager as sort of like a father figure and somebody who's genuinely trying to help Weird Al. I just found that really amusing. The twists and turns that this movie takes in terms of being completely fictional are hilarious. Again, I mentioned UHF. There's a sequence near the end of the movie that is straight up UHF. And the end of the movie is just the icing on top of the parody cake. You watch it and go, yeah, that totally didn't happen, but it's hilarious nonetheless. And at the end of the day, it's a movie that's really worth seeing in your lifetime. It is free on Roku, so the caveat with that is you're going to have to watch it with ads, but that's okay. It's well worth it. It is such a funny, entertaining movie. It's so creative. The cast is really giving it their all. It's just fantastic all around, and I think this was the perfect way to tell a Weird Al biopic. Just make it up as you go along. And there you go, that's my review for Weird, the Al Yankovic story. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.